Welcome to Factorio. I'm Rever, and I wanted to make a video about Factorio for a couple of reasons. One, I asked a question in my last live stream. What do you guys think I should do as far as live streaming? And my life has been busy, and a lot of people suggested, well, do what you think you should do. Do what makes it fun for you because it comes across in the videos. And I was just watching videos going through. You're kind of bored sometimes in life, and I didn't actually feel like playing a game. And I've got a bunch of different people saved. There's two people that play this game, do a great job. Exterminator and Nelos. I like both of their videos. And I noticed there was a new mod out called Space Exploration. So let's go over to the mods for a second. So there's a few things that are required. I'll kind of go down this list. If you guys want to follow along, I'll try to set this up so you can get the same exact mods I have. But they recommend that we do alien biomes. And these two mods are for that AI signaling and transmission, but we can actually go into space with this mod, which is something completely new. I'll get down to it in a minute. So we got Afraid of the Dark, and I did this. It's not a bad mod. If you don't like the nighttime too much, it kind of makes it a bit brighter, but I really did it more for YouTube. I don't mind the dark, and it is a little more challenging. In some ways, it's just a bit annoying. You don't necessarily want to turn off the day-night cycle because that breaks other aspects of the game, but Afraid of the Dark will make it a little bit brighter for YouTube's sake. The base mod, you have to have that. That's just sort of like a Factorio thing. And if we come down, we got bullet trails. So that just sort of shows, I think, the gun terrence, but it also allows you to like mount, it basically shows the trail. So you kind of have like a tracer in a sense. Factorio standard library. I guess that's just probably like a mod library type thing, like a dependency. FNEI is really cool because it shows you all of the different mods or all the different things you can make. Like you can kind of search things a little bit easier than going through the bar and trying to figure it out the other way. Like you'll see it as we go along. Grappling gun. Not even 100% sure why I have that, other than it might have been recommended, or maybe you need it. If used with space exploration, it can be used to pull yourself back. Well, that sounds like a good thing if I fall off. So that's probably why I got it. It might even have been required one. Now, I like long reach because it lets you reach a little bit further. And I usually do this research upgrade to make it a little bit less cheaty, but I don't know. The whole thing, I don't seem to have very much long reach at this point, but this one, the research upgrade's incompatible right now. So hopefully they'll upgrade that to the latest version. And I am on 0.17. So longer underground belt aligned, it basically lets you do longer belts. Like the red belts can go further than the yellow belts. Now I heard that that's also changed in 1.7. There's some things, or 1.17. Or I'm sorry, 0.17. Nanobots are really handy. They get you bots that, as much as anything, I use them to get rid of the trees. So we'll explore these things. Robot attrition. I don't know about that. I don't know why I have that in there. Maybe it's another one of those. It's not something I picked. It might have been something that was required. I don't know. Well, we'll look into that later. As much as anything, I want to go through this just to show you guys what I have. But here's the big one. Space exploration lets us build orbital space platform, and you can send cargo up there, apparently launch rockets into space, ride a rocket into space, which is just completely new. Like you see, you can build a little space station. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but yeah. Now, I have this HR graphics optional because in order to record, I have to be in like the right mode. My monitor is like 1344 by 1440, and it just doesn't come across well on YouTube. So I have to kind of shrink the screens back down to, what is it, 2540 by whatever it is. That fits better in the maximum size of YouTube, so you guys don't get a black bar at the bottom. Squeak Through lets you walk through places that you couldn't otherwise. Kind of cheaty mod, but I like it because it just makes you be able to run around a lot quicker, and yeah, I like it. So text plates, I don't use this too often, but I thought for the Let's Play it might be nice. And I'm not sure that I'm getting into a Let's Play. I really just want to introduce you, if you've never if you've never played Factorio, it's almost like a public service kind of thing I'm going to do here. As far as the settings go, like I said, I took it off of full screen mode. I don't think I changed too much. I did get rid of the decoratives, and it was kind of, one guy mentioned it. He does that because of the YouTube recording. I thought, well, that's a good idea. So let's do that. I did sounds. I turned down the wind just so because when I did do a little tiny test recording, that was sort of a bit of an issue. Other than that, I don't think I changed too much. Alt mode, I put on show inserter arrows and show combinator settings. Who knows if we'll ever get to combinators, but alt mode lets you see what's in chests, and now we'll see the arrows for when it's going to insert. I'm not sure. I could see where that could be helpful. So we'll see. I don't want to spend too much time on all this. So let's go ahead and click play. If you guys have any questions about it, and then we're going to do a new game. One of the things to say about Factorio, and one of the reasons I like it so much, is you could just sort of change everything the way you want it. Now, one of the things you can do is do like a preview of your map, right? And so it takes a little while for it to come in, but as you change these things, you can then tell it to like update and refresh. You'll see in a minute, it'll also show us, there it is, not a minute, but a couple seconds. It shows you the resources. Now, the middle of the map is the starting zone. And I've done a couple things. I really haven't changed any of this stuff. No changes to the resources, but I did put it on peaceful mode, which if you see these red dots here, that's where the enemy bases are. And they won't attack us. Like, even if we like run around their base, they're not going to attack us until we attack them. So you still have enemy bases, and they still could be annoying. But what happens in this game if you don't have peaceful mode is these guys, if you put out enough pollution, they come and attack you. I'm not a big tower defense kind of player. Like, it's just not my kind of game, and it sort of becomes a bit more of a tower defense game if you don't have it on peaceful. But hey, have at it. I mean, some people, ramp up the enemies, and it's for them a lot more fun. But for me, it's sort of just annoying. But I didn't want to turn them off entirely. I like going and killing them once in a while. I do like the fight. But I don't like when they come and attack you. And if we're going to be doing space exploration, or if I'm going to be doing it, then I'm just going to not do that. But other than that, the only other thing I did change was this starting area size. And I put it up to 150%. And what that does is just push those bases back a little bit more than normal. So you can imagine, like, if we do change it, and then it's that time at all. Sometimes it doesn't always refresh depending on what you've changed. You'll see that like the bases, like we're going to be like kind of right in the middle here probably. Well, I guess that's the middle. Usually they give you a little plop of water. See how the bases are like right here? So you can imagine if you're playing with them attacking. Now the other thing to notice too is they're little bases, so they're not usually too big of an attack. Even if you did leave that on, don't feel like it's, that big a deal either way. But the peaceful mode keeps them from attacking you. Like I said, you can still go kill them if you like. And they'll attack you once you start attacking their base, which is kind of fun, right? But just keeps them from coming after. But if you look, all the other settings are pretty much the same. I really could turn off pollution because I'm on peaceful mode, but hopefully that won't add too many issues. So there's the seed. What I usually look for is, and this is fine with me, and it might be hard for you guys to see. I don't think I can zoom in here, but we have an iron node over here. We have a copper node, a coal node, and a stone node. And I'd usually just try to look for a map that doesn't have them like right on top of you, as far as, well, like if we look at this, like they're not on top of each other, not on top of you, so that they don't take away the amount, because we're going to have to expand out to these bigger fields. Now there are mods that will make the ore generation very different. And that's another thing to say about this game. Besides all these wonderful settings before you even get into it, I mean, I've spent almost 10 minutes. We haven't even clicked the play button yet. And just look at the number of settings. There's just a huge number of mods to do all kinds of wonderful things. And yeah, I can't say enough positive about this game. I kind of remember, it's been a long time now, thinking about I'm not gonna like that game, but then all of a sudden I realized, well, wait, I can go into peaceful mode. I can turn off the enemy bases altogether if I want. You can really kind of make it the kind of game that you want. Like you can evolve them faster or slower. You can, do they expand, or like you can turn off the expansion so that they stay where they're at. Maybe we should even do that, right? Like the enemy bases won't grow at this point. And let's just leave it on. I don't want to change it too much from the normal settings. But again, the peaceful mode's kind of enough to give you a peaceful thing if you still want them. And the same thing goes with the terrain. You can increase the number of trees, the different kinds of climates you have, the planets. You just get the idea. All right, so in any event, let me close the preview, and we'll just hit play, and we'll get into it. All right, so here we are. I'm going to close, and then once it sort of comes in paused, and you can have a little bit of a look around if you wanted to at that point. But if we go ahead and hit tab, this is our space exploration. Yeah, there might be issues, hopefully. Now, this is kind of new to me, and I want to kind of run out of here. If we get caught in the fire, we'll take a little damage. But there's some things we need to do if you haven't ever played Factorio. And one of the things you need to do is gather up resources. This game's all about automating things. But in the very beginning, you have very limited things. Now, as far as, you just really start out with almost nothing. If we hit E, we can open up this and we get like 1 iron plate and 1 copper plate. Now, this is something I think just to do with the mod that I've crashed, I'm pretty sure. Now, that's going to be another problem. It's been a while since I've played, and they've definitely upgraded some things. So I'm not going to 100% know what's the mod and what's the vanilla, since I haven't played vanilla in, I don't know, maybe not a year, but pretty close to it. So I know we're going to need some iron. We're going to need some wood. So we might as well gather up some of this stuff. And again, because the enemies aren't on, we're not too worried about time. That's another thing that's nice about it. If you're producing things and you have the enemies on, you have to be a lot more concerned about them coming and attacking you. Now, I'm not sure if you do have your enemies on, oh, you know what? This time I've played through just to make sure I have my recording settings. While I lit the forest on fire. Well, the crash landing lit the forest on fire. So I'm going to get a couple pieces of wood here, and there we go. We gathered up most, I think, of that warship. There is some settings, by the way, that you can come. This is all kind of new to me, and at first I was like, well, why can't I do this? Well, the shortcut requires that we get to certain technologies. So if there's a goal to this game, if we hit E again, what we can see here is that we could get science. So the first kind of science that you need to get is this red science, right? And this is where this FENI can come in. Like you can get you to your last recipe that you looked up. You can mark things as favorite. If I click on this, then what I can do is search for any of the things, right? So where we could only see science, I could come in here and type in SCI, science. And then I could come in here and click on this. Now, say it goes into my last one. So if I want to keep working towards this, I would know what I need to do to make green science, right? Does that make sense? So even though I can't get to it, if I go to, here, I'll close, oops, down here, sorry. So if I come here, I can't see the green science until I unlock the green science, if that makes sense. So once we get to build a lab, we can choose which thing that we work on as far as our next thing. So the goal for like this episode, and again, it's already kind of 15 minutes into it, would be to see if we couldn't get to red science. That would be certainly a reasonable goal if I hadn't talked so long so far. So, okay, so now the thing that we need to do is, if we look on our character here, we also have a burner mining drill, and I can come down, maybe I'll place them over here. And so your toolbar here is just going to show whatever. This has changed too since I played, so I'm going to have to get a little bit getting used to this. But when this is down here and selected, I can place this oven someplace. Now I think I'm going to head up this way a little bit, just looking at my mini map over here. Let me know if you guys can see pretty well. Yeah, I kind of want to go sort of in the middle. If we come over here, again, I'll try to stay zoomed in. Getting through the forest is a little bit tough. Oh, there's our copper down there. So we got all these trees in our way of our copper. But we're going to need like copper and iron to make a lot of these things. So it might be good to start over here just because that's where our copper and iron are. And I'm going to put this guy like right next to where the copper is. Right? And then I can put this guy in there if I want to and have him be real close to where the copper is. Right? Now, if we want to make more of those, the problem is if we come here, I need stone in order to make more of these. But in order to make more of these miner burners, I can't make them because I have enough iron plates, but I don't have enough stone bricks. Now, I can use wood to burn to get more stone bricks, or one of the other things I know there's coal like right up over here. You're actually, in my opinion, better off putting this thing on a coal deposit, right? Now, if we come up here and hit R, we can spin it around. So I'm going to kind of put it where I think I could put two of these eventually. I'm going to come in here and E, and I'm going to make a wooden chest. It's one of the reasons, make sure I grab some wood. All right, so there we go. So now if I put a piece of wood in here, it will burn it. And we got our first automation in a sense, where we're then making coal and it's being put into this wooden chest here. Now if I come over here, I can put that coal in there. Now we got even more fuel to make more. Now eventually we can make whole systems to get tons and tons of coal, but there we are producing coal without having to go run around, cut down a million trees. Now, remember, the whole goal of even getting some coal is going to be to cook some of this stone so we can make even more of these burner mining drills and set them up to maybe even go directly into the furnace, right? So, now you don't cook the coal at this point. So I can come here and then say, well, let me take about half of that, so that guy's still working. And we can come back down here where our copper thing was. We're going to have to cut some trees down, which is why I mentioned those nanobots will come in handy. So now if we come here, we have copper plates and iron plates, which we got directly from that, but we're going to need more of that stuff. So I could come in here and get a little bit of copper going if we wanted. I'm trying to make enough that it burns up some of the coal. Well, actually, you know what we really want to do first, even though we're in the quote copper area, is get some of that burning, right? So that we have some coal making us some bricks, so that we can make a few more of those. Now let me hit E again, and how many do we need? 4. So we're going to need 4 of these bricks to make another miner. So let's let it get up to. I think I'd like to make 3 more. So if we let that get to 12, now it'll keep going, right? We can put the rest of this in, stack of 50 anyway. So we'll put all the stone. Well, you know what? I don't want to put all the stone we have in there. Yeah, as a matter of fact, let's make that many more. All right, so now we can come in here and make 3 more of these. And that's because we gathered up that iron right away too. We would have needed to go get some more iron. But then what we can do, let's go back up to our, probably the best thing to do at this point is, here's a little trick as well. We can come over here, right, and put another one of these down. But I'm going to put this one facing that one, right? Oops. Okay, do I click on that? Like I said, I need to get used to that new. Now look at this. I have each of them facing each other. Right, so I can take the coal out of here. Really probably don't even need that wood chest there anymore, so I'll right click on it. But if you look, now they're both feeding into each other. I have 30 coal in my inventory, but they're going to both be making us more. So we can come in here without starving the process, because if you look, there's, you know, it's going to make another coal, so you can come in there and steal some out of there. And then we can come down over here. Now look, I have this. How do I get... I don't even know how to remove one of those. I'm running kind of the wrong way. So now we'll take our wooden chest and... yeah, let's see. How do we get rid of that? Can I just... Control? Alt? No. I don't know. We'll worry about it later. So I'm just going to come over here because I want to get some more. I know we're going to need more of these things. In some ways, it's not our... yeah, I'm really not necessarily liking this, though I'm sure it's better. I need to give it some time. All right, so we're going to come here, put our chest down. I don't know. We'll put 10 in there, and that should get us, you know, a fair amount more stone going. And we'll just basically, for now, do pretty close to the same thing. For our copper and for our iron. Right? Except in this case, what we can do is something like this. Now, I'd probably be better off doing the iron first, but hopefully we can make another... oh, we need to... yeah, let's get the stuff out of here. Right, so what we want to put in here is the copper. So now this is pointing at that. So if we put, I don't know, say a bit of our copper in here, it will start burning. I don't know how well you guys can see, but it will start burning and dumping that copper into there automatically. So we'll get a bit of copper. Now we're going to have to keep, you know, both of these, not full, but at least keep some stuff in them. I think the burner drill, at least unless it's been changed, burns a little bit more. And then now we want to see, can we make another one of these? Yes. And then another one of these. That's why I didn't use up all my stone, because these need stone. So there we go. So I know our iron's right over here. We got a lot of stone around here. Probably didn't need to go set up that stone guy just yet. You need a bit of stone to get started, but then in the long run, you don't need that much type thing. I need to get used to this. Let's just put half of this in here. And half of that in there. And then that'll start getting us some iron. And then we can run all the way over to our coal mine again, right? Because in the very beginning, you're sort of... you are the automation at that point, right? So we can come in here before they stop and just shift clicking it into there. So there we go. We got some more, right? And so if I find that you start making a few rounds. Now, like I said, I didn't really think about how much stone we had over there, but we might as well grab this anyway. And we can head back over there. And what we want to, more as much as anything, we kind of want to ramp up a little bit the copper that we have going on, and the iron. Probably more the iron than the copper. So if we can only make like one more of these and one more of these setups, we're probably better off doing it with the iron, but copper's up the list as well. Oops. All right, so let's put half a stack, and then see if we can pull these right out. Now, something to keep in mind while we're doing all of this is we are creating pollution. You can see the smoke coming out. And if we go over to the map, we can come here and see this is the area that's being polluted. And if you're playing without peaceful mode, when that red gets over to, if you can see way down here, right, there's an enemy base, probably just a house. It's not a big one. But if this pollution were to get over to here, then after a little bit, they'll come and attack you. It's all mathematical, I'm sure, in the game. Since we're down here, yeah, I don't know which one needs it most, but we'll put half of that in there and half of that in there. So you may be saying to yourself, boy, that doesn't look very exciting, but it definitely gets to be a challenge when you start talking about producing all of the different things. Let's come back up here again. We want to kind of get this before it fills up. We're, like we said, we're definitely going to get a better system in the very near future. So let me run back and forth a little bit. I just want to pause the video because all I'm going to do is upgrade our productions here, right? Yeah, just put the rest of that in there, right? So we're going to be able to get more copper plates. See that? Look, we got 59 copper plates. This is like the name of the game, and it goes on forever, right? 23 irons, and now all of a sudden, you know, we have 78 iron there. But let me just upgrade. I'm going to run around back and forth. I think it's pretty boring, but when I'm kind of ready to go to the next step, I will come back. All right, there's something going on here that I definitely don't understand, and it's why are these things seem to be taking damage? What do we got here? A meteorite. That's something new. Might be added by the mod, might not. All right, these guys are taking damage. Now, in any event, if you notice, I put 4 of these together so that we're just that much more, each feeding into each other in a circle there, and that gets us, you know, you can see we got our coal expanded. Now, the first thing we need to do, besides gathering up all our coal and stuff, and I do have a few more iron miners and another extra copper miner down there, is we need to get to the point we can do this science. Now, there should be the ability to make a lab here, right? But we need a few more stone bricks. So I did make some, and we got our little stone brick furnace. Like I said, I broke some of the stone that was around our iron mine there, so we got some extra. So I think if I do this, what we can do, and I probably don't want to do this right here, but we can make one of these labs. Now, we're going to need electricity, I think, for one of these labs, if I'm right. Well, maybe not. Because how else can we make electricity unless we have that, right? Now, in order for electricity, we kind of need, well, we definitely need some water, which is going to be all the way down here on the map. I'd kind of like to keep it, I think we're better off running with these power poles. So let's go see if we can't place down this guy here. Okay, he takes fuel. Okay, that's good. So we can put fuel into here. I think that's different. That's why I was confused, at least in part. Now, the other thing we're going to have to do manually here at first. Well, everything's kind of manually at first. If I right-click, I make 5 at a time, so we might as well make 5. Now, if we come in here, we can hit T or do this, and this is the research. And I can already tell you this screen looks looks very different. But one of the first things that you want to get is the ability to make belts. And this is inserters. Yeah, so let's see. What else can we... So basic logistics will allow us to make belts. And there it is. Those yellow belts right there. I don't know if you can see where it says effects. So I'm going to pick that, right? I'll start research. Like I said, this is different. It definitely... Yeah, I guess I like it. Now, one of the things I have going on is the screen is kind of like huge. I did that for the sake of you guys being able to see, so you wouldn't have to have it quite that big. But if we come back out and come in here, we only have one of those. It takes a little while, but we can get those put into here, and now we're researching. Now, how many do we need total? Automation. Okay, good. So just one science pack will get us that research. No. 1 times auto. Let's see. Let's go back. Oh, there it is. Why is... Oh, times 10. There we go. Well, that's a little deceiving, isn't it? Yeah, I don't really understand. Oh, yeah, why would it say... Oh, maybe because it can burn more than one. Like I said, some of this is different. Now, we probably need to just go ahead and make... I don't know, like 20 of these and get them going. In the meantime, we can run around and like fill back up our things. Just shift click if you want. All right, and I can shift click. Now there's, can we just, does that just suck it in? Now, there's a way or a mod, I'm not sure, that you can just... Yeah, Alt, by the way, turns those images off. Can I control? Oh, yeah, there we go. See, look, it knows that I want to take them out. So I control click, by the way. So now, if I control... Yeah, is there a way? Shift control? No. How about control right click? I want to try to put copper. I want to try to put the coal in there. I don't know. Let's just do this. All right, so there's our copper is basically refilled at that point. Now, I think if I control... Well, I don't have any... We have to go get more coal. So the point now is that we're making... You know, we're still producing these red sciences while we're running around, which is good. But the point that we're going to try to at least get something done is to get some research done so that we can do that. Now, we should be able to, again, control click. Right, and then grab all that coal much more quickly than I was by opening each one. And those should be kind of filled up. Yep, see, look, we're out of fuel here. Now, let's see. I know there was, at a time, you could do like this. Control. Right, that gave us iron. Yeah, how do we put it in? Oh, you know what? We don't have any more iron, or cop. What is that? Oh, what happened there? Yeah, whatever that was, I didn't want it. Can we get rid of this? I don't know how to get rid of that. I'll learn. I'll learn how. I know there's a way we can shift click those things in. Now we're not going to have too much coal up here, but grab whatever we can and put it in the furnaces for the iron. Oh, and we should have probably put some more science in our little science lab while we were there. There we go. Good. So that we're most of the way there to getting the basic logistics. Yeah, can I... Okay, yeah, just right-clicked on it and got rid of it. So now let's open this up and... Okay. Yeah, we don't necessarily want all of it in there. Right, spread it out a little. Spread out the love. Right, there we go. So good. So now, once we get to basic logistics, the next one we want is probably basic automation. Yeah, tool belt's nice to get, but not necessarily. Steel's nice to get, but not right this second. If you've got biters coming, you know, like where they would attack you, this military becomes a lot more important. Same thing, obviously, I think, with the stone walls. But I think the next thing we should probably get is the basic automation going. Look, did we run out of fuel, or we just... No. Very little bit left, so we'll just wait here for a second. We're making things. There we go. So let's get right on. Yeah, basic automation. Start research. And we need 10 more, so we should have all those in there. And then I guess we can come along here and take all of these things out. Keep wanting to hit shift. Now, if you look, if we come over here to logistics, we can start making some of these transport belts. Now, we're going to want a good number because our power is going to be kind of far away. Now, the other thing is, yeah, we don't really have the ability. Yeah, we can make copper cable, but I'm not seeing the ability to make... Let's come in here and look and see. There we go. So we have to get this electricity going, and then we can get burner generators. Yeah, so this is a good thing to get as well, because then we're going to need to get this right away. What does this give us? Sand. I'm not too worried. I don't think about sand or Terrence. And then what would be the next? Oh, that's stone walls. Logistics. Yeah, there's those nanobots that would be good. Yeah, and the splitters and all are going to be real critical to get pretty quickly as well. So this logistics 2, or what's this called? Basic logistics and regular logistics. Like I said, it's a little bit changed. And again, I'm not sure 100% how much is vanilla and how much is that. Now, yeah, we could probably also do with making some more science. Now, if you notice, if we look, yeah, the science just requires copper and steel. So why don't we kind of keep our science going? We'll make another 20. What do we need for? Yeah, we definitely want to get right. We need 50. Yeah, so we want to make 50 of those. So what do we have? We have 20, I think. So that should be 50 right there. And I think I could shift click and make 100, which I don't necessarily want to do right this second. All right, so yeah, we're going to have to get past this basic automation, and yeah, we're really not the greatest setup over here either, because all the way here, let's look at the map this way, might be a little better. We're zoom out a bit. Oh, good. Basic automation is finished. Yeah, I definitely think electricity would be the next thing to start. And anyway, our water is all the way down here, and then, oops, that moves awful fast. Our coal's all the way up here. So in order to make electricity, we're going to need fuel and water. So we're going to have to do a little bit of work to get that somewhere central. Now, we've got a lot of trees in this area here. You can kind of see them, I think, on the map, which is just a bit annoying in the very beginning. So we're going to want to try to find a place that we can bring those two together without having to fight every tree in the world. Yeah, probably like over here, maybe we start our power, which, you know, again, this will just be like a little bit of a starter base kind of area. And then we could bring the copper and the iron, or bring the power over to here. We're going to need coal to process the copper and iron, obviously, like we are. Oh, you know what? We're making this science, and I forgot to put it in there. Can I reach this? Oh, yeah, that's the long reach right there. Anything you can see on the map, you can reach. So we just plopped our science in there, and so that'll keep going. So let me pause it again. I'm just gonna gather up the stuff, run back and forth, but I did want to show you us getting our first science, and then what we're going to do is get to the point we can do more. We got some of these conveyors, right? I think these I'm definitely going to want to put like here, and then as we get more stuff, we'll make this like the yellow technology for starters, and then we'll maybe make this one the more advanced stuff. All right, so let me pause it for a second, and then we'll come back when we're ready to. Yeah, I'll just save up some stuff and we'll build it all together. But I'll try to get hopefully enough belts and enough of the other things and keep our science going a little bit further. Before I pause too much, what's the next thing I'll probably do? Yeah, these electric mining will be very good to get, but not necessarily the first thing. Yeah, what do we have back in logistics? Yeah, the nanobots would be nice to take care of those, but that's sort of the next step. And this, yeah, we don't need logistics 2 just yet. Yeah, so I think the next thing I would get is, yeah, I think we're going to need basic fluid handling. So I'll get 50 more science made up, and then I'll start that process. And I don't think I have enough. We're still making science. So you can see sometimes it gets a little bit grindy. But let me go gather up some more coal, and we'll come back when I'm ready to semi-automate, at least getting some power, which will save us some effort. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, I've gotten some things done, and I've really tried to cool my tool on doing much. I certainly could have gotten a lot more things laid out, but I wanted to do it together, and we really kind of need to get a certain amount of this research done. So if we take a look, we had the basic logistics, and I just researched this, well, the regular logistics, which was just a lot cheaper, so a little bit faster than this next thing I want to do is the electric mining. So let's get that going right away. So I'm going to start electric mining, but we had to get this electricity and we had to get this basic automation going first. So if we come back over to automation, yeah, I got electricity done. I'm forgetting exactly. Yeah, we did logistics. Now we're doing this logistics. So in any event, we got everything we need as far as, except for this last electric mining. And then I built another one of these. I also had to move, if you look at the amount that's on these edges is a little bit less than what's in the middle. Like, see how this is 84, but if we come in the middle, it's like 1,000. So I had to move these over. Then I also I got rid of a little more of the stone and I cut us a path over to here for future anticipation of what I know we'll need. Now let's see, do we have everything we need? I didn't make the offshore pump, but I made a bunch of the pipes right now. So we need one of these offshore pumps. We're going to need a boiler, and then it's really never a bad idea to have 2 steam engines for every boiler. So we'll make 2 of those, and then when we come over here, small iron electric pole, this is kind of new to me, versus a wood electric pole. Reach, supply area. Okay, so the wires will go a little bit further, but we have to use 2 iron. Yeah, you know what? I think let's make a number of these because the reach will be nice to go 7.5 versus, oh no, wait, it's the same. Nah, I don't know. I don't think it makes any difference, does it? Nope. All right, so we'll make some wood ones since I guess iron's a little bit more precious to us. We'll see if there's any difference that way too, right? So now we have electric poles, and yeah, I don't know which ones we're going to use, but I guess we'll just put them on the bar here. We'll put them down there for now. All right, that's the iron ones. This is the wood ones. Oops, don't want the wood. And then, yeah, let's go set up our boiler. I figure hopefully we'll have enough time to get the electric mining going and we can start setting up what we think we will need. So our water is all the way down here. There it is. And I want to, maybe one day we'll clean this up and we'll see. And I don't like to have to run the water quite so far. Now, I made a bunch of these pipes, and the problem with the pipes is they're going to block the heck out of us. So in a lot of ways, we're better off making a bunch of these. Now, do we even have enough stuff? Yeah, now these are underground pipes, which go like 10. So hopefully you need 2 of them for each length, but they'll help us quite a bit. So let's take these and put them here. And did we use all the regular pipes that quick? Yeah, you use a lot of regular pipes, but it's kind of worth it. Unfortunately, we used all our regular pipes. That wasn't too smart. Let's come in here and get our offshore pump, which sort of auto places itself, but I want to put it here because in the future we could landfill this and make this like nice and square. Maybe we'll see how things go. And then really a lot of times I like to put another pipe here just in case we ever want to, like if you put one section of, here, let me zoom in, put one section of regular pipe, then you can split off of there. But you know what, we'll just go with this and see how we can do this all underground. Let me zoom back out so I can see where we're going. Then I'm going to take this. Yeah, this is where we will need a regular pipe there, or else our water won't make it through. Now we're going to have to also, let's see, where are we at? Yeah, maybe one more over. And I kind of like to go the full length of these if we can, just so that now what you can do too is just run and hold it, right? And it'll go the full length. Yep, see, and then of course the one tree that I didn't clear out. All right, you know what, let's even take that one back. And then, do we make more pipes? No, we're going to make the last of those. So what we'll do is we need to build a power plant, which we already should have, right? Yeah. So we're going to put a boiler. Now I want to put the boiler, what we're going to need to do is bring coal down to our boiler, right? So we're going to have a coal line that comes down towards this. You know what? I probably actually want to go, yeah, like here, say, right? Because our coal is right above us, so we'll have a coal line coming straight down to like right there. And then we'll kind of do, like I said, the full length. Oops. So now what we need to do is like that, and then we should have some of these regular pipes that we can put on our bar. And all right, so when water, that's kind of weird that symbol, there is no water in that pipe unless we're making water by some miracle in the boiler, which doesn't make any sense. There we go. So now there should actually be water flow if we, oops. Yeah, I still don't know how to I should have looked it up while I was sitting there doing nothing. How do we get rid of one of the, middle mouse? Oh, there you go. So let's get rid of that one too. Yeah, sometimes the answer is right in front of your face, right? But there we go. So if we hold on this, we should have, oh no, we don't have water because we don't have power at this point. It's kind of a thing. Yeah, so offshore pump. Well, this may not work quite like I'm thinking, because if we don't have water, we can't make steam power. So I might be screwing this whole thing up. I mean, it's all fine what I'm doing, I think. Just it may be an issue. Now, let's get our steam. Now, what I usually like to do, and you don't have to do this, is put like a space in between these two and then a regular pipe. And what that lets you do is tuck electrical poles in between them so that your electrical poles don't have to be on the end. And then what we're going to need, and again, I'm a little bit confused, but we'll just sort of parallel this. We'll probably end up moving all this anyway. So these are the wood ones I think we're using, right? Just so they kind of stay somewhat as we start getting more paths in the future. Can't build on water. Well, that's reasonable. There we go. So we'll have water down to that, which will let that pump work. And then let's see, what do we have for... so we're going to have to get a burner turbine generator going. And I think we could probably put that up here, just enough to... It's kind of almost like a bit of a waste, because as soon as we get this other system set up... So we could have gotten that going much more quickly than doing all the research I did. And we can right away come in here and give that fuel. And then now the problem is we have to get a little bit of electricity going to get our water going. Yeah, so, well, that should be, right? There you go. So see, now that's automatically, in a sense, just because we put that little bit of power, all you have to be is in range of one of these poles and you're good to go. So we'll just let that fuel burn up. Oh, look, it even stopped. That's good. So these take priority in our system. If we click on the electric pole, it'll tell us how much we're using and how much we need. So now I see our researches are flashing up there, and that means we can make an electric mining drill. So I think I want to make, just to get started, 6 of these. All right, which is going to take quite a bit of our stuff. Now, while they're being made, I want to come back over here and let's grab up our stuff and reset these, which is pretty much the primary thing I've been doing. Get control. I guess it would, I'm kind of wanting to do this for now until we get this upgraded. All right, and then refill the coal. Okay, that one's run out of iron as well. Okay, so it's not really clear and like the other one. So we pick this up, get out of the way. Yeah, I'm used to the old way still. I will get there. All right, then can I click on this? Yeah, why can't I put that? Oh, there we go. Well, it's not letting me just like get the coal out of my hand, but that's fine. So now let's control and pick up whatever iron we got. So it looks like we'll need some more. So now we have these miners. Now the other thing we can make that we couldn't make before because we got logistics, I want to make 5 splitters, and we don't really need the undergrounds, but they're nice to have, so we'll make some 5 undergrounds. And I don't know if we have enough belts, so we just used a bunch more, so let's get some more belts on the go. And you can see we're really starting to cut through the iron, but this will all truly pay off. Yeah, I want to take... I wonder if these poles are like interchangeable. I would think they are. All right, so we're just going to run our power up this way so we have it in this neighborhood. And then do we have... Yes, I'm going to put these drills down here because we'll be using them. So I think we have enough coal going for the moment that we won't have to do that. Now, one other thing to note is you do tend to drop a little coal on the ground. Like, see this little piece right there is a bit of coal. So, in any event. And what I'd like to do is try to space these out from like the widest part. Like, so if you're going to put one here, you can, the next one could go like here. And then we'll come down to catch it all. And then we'll spin this guy around so he's putting out this way, and he should catch all of that. Now remember, we could go like this, and to me that sort of depends on what this looks like, right? So in other words, this one won't overlap with that one. You could put these close together, or it looks like we'd be better off putting it this way to try to cover everything in the long run. And then if we put our belts in... All right, so there we go. So now, I don't know how close we are to this. We want this guy coming down into here. All right, and then we need one more thing. I'd like to use these burner inserter. Even though they're not the most efficient, they don't rely when you're having power, right? So as long as there's coal there, they'll pick up the coal, which is kind of a good thing. Well, it's definitely a good thing in the sense of even if we in the future run out of coal, all this guy needs to do is get a little bit of coal and he's good to go. So now let's get our power the rest of the way. Right. And then this is another thing this does is let you put power poles in the middle. So if we were to add more of these things in the future, we could, if we chose to, we could run the electric. I usually like to run the electric up the gap that's behind them, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, what happened there? That's what happened there. Now we have a good amount of coal in our... see, there we go. Get rid of that. There we go. All right, so now here comes our coal. Our first, very, very first automation. And I think I'm going to end it pretty soon just for the length of that. Now, it used to grab it itself. Do we really have to put it in there ourselves? Yeah, why are you not? You know what? I've seen this before. Let's pick that guy up and put him back down. Now, you should be... Why are you not grabbing your own fuel, buddy? Are you not grabbing it because this is full? Oh, there you go. Right, like he didn't go because this was already full, so he didn't, or let's see, we'll put this back in here. Oop. See, he didn't put any in himself because this wasn't demanding any, so that he'll only put it in here when this is lower than at a certain percentage or whatever. But there we go, so we have that. Now what we can do, let's see, the iron ones connect. Now what I want to do is sort of, we'll run this at the top, kind of close to where those trees are right now, right? So that we can run other things. Yeah, kind of skim right past those trees. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. All right, so now there goes all of our iron poles. So we probably need to let's make some more wood poles because I feel like we have tons of wood at this moment. And we'll just make a whole bunch. And then we'll do the same thing with our iron. Right? And then how do we want to attack it? I usually like to attack it the lengthwise, but this is pretty evenly. It's not much longer than it is. So I think maybe the best thing would be like this way. And we'll say, okay, if we started here, we'll go to there. All right, kind of do the same thing, sort of in the middle. It doesn't matter that much in the long run. They run, they take the stuff out. It's a little more efficient. Like this one, I think I'll run it up that way. Obviously it matters a little bit, but we can eye this guy up, right? This one would go here. We'll go over to here and make sure we get everything. And again, I'm not sure if it matters if we put that extra space in the middle. We'll run our copper out this way. Yeah, really, I think the only thing you have to watch out for here is that you kill yourself as far as all the stuff goes, right? Like we don't want to run out of things. All right, and then we'll do, I keep doing that. Nope, come on. Yeah, then I can't, yeah, if it, I put that the middle mouse. There you go. All right, so now what we'll do, without, like, I know there'll be a gap in between. Oops. We'll see. It's no big deal to replace those. See, that doesn't reach. So like I said, I do like to tend to run them up the middle, so I'll put, or up the gap in the long run. The first couple doesn't matter. Well, you'll see. If you play the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. This one I will put right in the middle. Again, mainly because it's the first one, and then I'll probably split them off like this. I'm really not used to, I can't right click and get rid of things in my hand. All right, so there we go. So now we have some copper going, and the next, well, here, you know what we can probably do? Let's do one more thing, and that'll be it. We'll take, just to show you guys, we're going to, well, no, you know what? It's going to take too long. So let me know what you think. What we would do next is we would automate our making iron and copper. And the reason I say it takes too long is we also will need coal, right? Because we don't have an electric furnace. So we'll need to split this coal off. And that's the main reason I cut this through is do we bring our iron and copper over here or, you know, and start making a more proper area for processing all those things? I kind of like that idea, just thinking about it. Or do we, you know what, so we'll bring the coal, iron, and copper over. Sort of honestly depends on what your map looks like. If you've got a lot of good resources over here, we don't really have anything else exposed because we haven't run around much, but there you go. That's the beginning of Factorio. Let me know if you'd like to see more and you know what you think of the game. But if nothing else, like I said, a bit of a public service announcement for my regular viewers that may or may not like this game or may, who knows, may never have heard of it. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.